Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, let's get right into it. Are you maybe accidentally shaving thousands of miles off your engine's life every single morning?
It sounds a bit dramatic put like that, doesn't it?
It does, I know, but based on the data we've been looking at, it seems millions of drivers are, well, inadvertently damaging their cars.
Yeah, with just a few simple mistakes, often before they even, leave the driveway.
Exactly. We're talking about potentially knocking, 25,000 to maybe 40,000 kilometers off your motor's lifespan.
That's the figure some analyses suggest. Yes, it's significant.
And it's all because of habits that feel right, but are actually, doing harm.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about some, complicated breakdown. It's literally about the first 5 minutes of your drive.
That's right. Those initial moments are surprisingly critical.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the most common piece of advice you probably heard about warming up your car, that's probably the one doing the most damage.
It's kind of amazing how deeply ingrained some of these routines are, isn't it? Questioning them feels almost wrong sometimes. But like you said, the technical data, it makes it remarkably clear.
Right.
There are very real mechanical reasons why certain cold start habits are just plain bad for the engine.
So our goal today in this deep dive is to cut through that noise, basically.
Exactly. Help you understand not just what to do, but crucially, why it matters so much.
Giving you the power to, hopefully, make your car last a lot longer.
That's the plan.
All right, let's dive straight into what I'm calling the silent killer in your driveway.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
This is the biggest myth, I reckon. And I guarantee it's going to cause some discussion.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably been told your whole life, start your car, let it idle. 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes, to warm it up.
Oh, yeah. Standard advice. Feels like you're doing the right thing, the kind thing for your engine.
It really does. But here's where it gets, really interesting. Our sources are pretty clear. It's actually one of the worst things you can do.
Right.
Now, hold on. People will say, but I see my temperature gauge move. It must be working. What are they actually seeing there?
That's a great question because it hits the core of the misunderstanding.
Right.
What you're mostly seeing on that gauge is the coolant temperature starting to climb. Not necessarily the oil temp and definitely not the whole engine block being evenly heated. See, in a modern car, when you idle it cold, the engine computer deliberately runs a very rich fuel mixture. Way more gasoline than usual in the air-fuel mix.
Why does it do that?
To help it run smoothly when cold and get the catalytic converter hot faster for emissions mainly. But here's the critical problem. Your cold piston rings haven't expanded yet. They don't create a perfect seal against the cylinder wall when they're cold.
Oh, okay.
So all that extra unburnt fuel, it just slips right past those cold rings, washes down the cylinder wall.
Washing away the oil film.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Stripping away that crucial oil film right when you need it most, and then it drips straight down into your engine oil in the sump.
Oh, wow. So you're diluting your oil with gasoline.
You got it.
Yeah.
You're essentially bathing your engine's insides in gasoline-thinned oil, which obviously destroys its ability to lubricate properly.
That sounds really bad.
It is. And what's worse, an engine just idling produces very little actual heat load.
Yeah.
Based on some of the data, it can take 15, maybe even 20 minutes of just idling for the engine to get anywhere near its proper operating temperature.
15 or 20 minutes just sitting there.
Yeah, it's incredibly inefficient for warming up. And as a little side note, all that unburnt fuel going past the rings isn't great for your catalytic converter either. Slowly poisons it over time.
Another expensive fix down the line.
Exactly. Another reason to avoid prolonged idling.
Okay, so if idling is actively bad for it and doesn't even warm things up properly, what does this mean for our morning routine? What's the counterintuitive fix?
It's actually deceptively simple. You start your car.
Right.
You wait about 30 to 60 seconds. Let's say a full minute if it's properly freezing out.
Okay, why the wait then? That's just to give the oil pump a chance to get that, liquid gold, the oil circulating through the engine. Get it up to the top end.
Makes sense. So wait a minute. Then what?
Then you gently drive away.
Gently.
Yes, gently is the key word. Driving under a light load warms everything up the engine, the transmission, all the other bits far more quickly and efficiently than just letting it sit.
Light load, smooth acceleration, keep the RPMs low, that kind of thing.
Exactly. No racing off down the street.
And gently is definitely the word, because that brings us neatly to the second big mistake, doesn't it? The lead foot problem.
Ah, yes. The temptation to just go. Yeah. Immediately revving the engine hard or, driving aggressively when everything's still stone cold. It just sounds like pure mechanical torture, what's actually happening inside.
You're not wrong. It really is mechanical torture. You need to picture what's going on in there.
Okay.
When the metal is cold, all those crucial parts, pistons, bearings, cylinder wall, they are physically smaller than their design size.
Because metal expands with heat. Exactly. Engineers calculate incredibly precise tolerances for these parts to work perfectly at their normal hot operating temp, which is usually around, say, 90 to 100 degrees Celsius.
Right.
So when you demand high RPMs from a cold engine, you're forcing those contracted, undersized parts to basically smash against each other under huge pressure.
Ouch.
You might even hear it sometimes. That distinctive rattling or ticking sound some cold engines make, often called piston slap.
I think I know the sound you mean.
Yeah, I remember a neighbor's car years ago always made that noise on cold mornings. Used to make me wince. That's literally the sound of pistons, not yet fully expanded, rocking slightly in the cylinder and hitting the walls.
That's a pretty horrifying image, actually. Parts just bashing against each other.
It is.
So what are the real long-term consequences then, if you do that day after day?
Well, do that repeatedly, and you're essentially signing up for scored cylinder walls down the road.
Okay.
Prematurely worn out piston rings, leading to catastrophic oil consumption later on.
Burning oil. Not good.
Not good at all. Trust me, the repair bill for fixing that kind of internal engine damage, you really want to avoid it.
We talking big numbers.
Oh yeah, easily a 4-figure repair bill, and it's completely avoidable. You know, it's like a self-inflicted wound on your engine.
Yikes. Okay, well, speaking of lubrication, let's talk about the oil itself. The stuff that's supposed to stop all this happening. This gets us to the oil viscosity trap. When your engine's cold, the oil is thick. Like honey left in the fridge, right? It just doesn't flow easily.
Exactly. Even the most advanced modern synthetic oils thicken up when they're cold. That's just physics.
But beyond just the basic thickness or weight, does the type of synthetic oil matter more now? Or maybe the additives in it? Especially with modern engines.
Oh, absolutely. That's a really crucial point, actually. When you first start up, it takes a few critical seconds for that oil pump to build enough pressure to force that thick, cold oil through all the tiny little passages and galleries to reach the top of the engine.
Right up to the cams and stuff.
Exactly. Camshafts, bearings, lifters, all the critical stuff. And during those first few moments, those parts are running with virtually no lubrication.
So metal on metal, basically.
Pretty much, metal grinding on metal. And that's where the vast majority of your engine wear actually occurs, in those first few seconds after startup.
Right.
And what's really interesting, linking back to your question about modern engines, their designs often have even tighter tolerances and sometimes really intricate, smaller oil passages compared to older engines. This makes that cold flow property of the oil even more critical.
So it's harder for thick oil to get through.
Precisely. It's not just getting to the components, but getting through these increasingly complex pathways designed for, ultimate precision and efficiency when warm.
So using the wrong oil, like a thicker grade than recommended?
Yeah, say using a 10W40 when your car specifically calls for a 5W30 or even a 0W20, that makes this cold start problem maybe 10 times worse. That manufacturer recommendation, it isn't just a suggestion, it's a critical engineering requirement. It specifies the viscosity needed for proper flow when cold, and often implies crucial additive packages.
Additives? Like what?
Things like ZDDP, for example, which is vital for anti-wear, especially under those high-friction cold start conditions before the oil film is fully established.
Right, so stick to the manufacturer's spec. Don't second-guess it.
Exactly. Why gamble on something so fundamental? And this loops right back to that 30 to 60-second wait after starting.
The golden rule.
Yeah. It's not really for the engine block to get warm. It's purely to give the oil pump that fighting chance to get the oil circulated before you put any real load on those vulnerable components.
That detail about modern engines and additives really helps clarify things, especially for listeners who are maybe a bit more technical. Okay, before we move on, just a quick note. If you're finding this deep dive valuable, and it's maybe making you rethink your morning routine.
Which we hope it is.
Yeah. It would mean the world to us if you could just take a second to support the channel. Hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't already, it's actually a massive help. It lets us create more content like this.
Absolutely. Your engagement really does power our growth and lets us keep digging into topics like this.
And also, we genuinely want to hear from you.
Oh, definitely.
If you have questions or maybe your own experiences with this stuff or other tips, drop them in the comments below. We really do read every single one.
We do, and if you really appreciate the work we put in and want to contribute directly to, the future and quality of these deep dives, you could consider using the join button to become a channel member, or maybe send a super thanks as a one-time show of support. Every little bit helps keep us motivated and, keeps the lights on in the garage, so to speak.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the engine killers. There's another seemingly harmless habit.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, the 2-minute trip that costs thousands. That really short drive, maybe just down the road and back, where the engine never ever gets fully warmed up.
This one is such a silent menace. It really is. Here's the science bit.
Okay.
Combustion naturally creates water vapor. You see it steaming from the exhaust on a cold day, right?
Sure.
A surprising amount of that moisture, plus some unburnt fuel, inevitably blows past the piston rings, even warm ones, but more so in cold, and it ends up in your engine oil.
Okay, moisture and fuel in the oil.
Now, if the engine gets fully hot and stays hot for a decent amount of time...
Like on a longer drive.
Exactly. The oil temperature gets high enough to actually evaporate off that water and the volatile fuel components. They then get sucked out and burned off by the PCV system, the positive crankcase ventilation system. That's its job.
Right.
But on those really short trips, the oil literally never gets hot enough.
So the water and fuels just stay there.
They stay trapped in the oil. And the water combines with the oil and combustion byproducts to create this really disgusting, milky sludge.
Milky sludge, lovely image.
It is, isn't it? And it's horrible stuff. It clogs up small oil passages, and the fuel dilutes the oil and breaks down its vital protective additives.
Vegan too.
Over time, horrific internal corrosion and eventually lubrication failure. It's like trying to run your engine on mayonnaise almost.
Okay, stop. So what's the tangible impact then? And more importantly, the practical fix?
Well, the impact is just accelerated wear, shorter engine life, maybe premature failure of seals or components due to corrosion. The fix, it's pretty simple, really.
Right.
Try to bundle your errands, combine those short trips into one longer drive where the engine actually gets up to temp and stays there for a while.
Let it get properly hot.
Exactly. And if you genuinely just need to pop like 2 blocks down the street for something quick, seriously, consider walking or biking if you can.
Your engine will thank you.
Your engine will absolutely thank you for that bit of mechanical empathy. Plus, you get some steps in.
Right. So, okay, we've debunked the idling myth, warned against the lead foot, talked oil viscosity, and the dangers of short trips. Let's put it all together. What does the perfect damage-free cold start routine actually look like? Give us the simple, actionable guide.
Okay, let's boil it down. Think of it as like 4 steps of mechanical empathy.
I like that. Mechanical empathy. Okay, step 1.
Step 1, get in, start the engine, but don't touch the gas pedal. Just let the car's computer manage the initial startup fuel mixture and idle speed.
Okay, easy enough. Step 2.
Step 2, wait. As we've hammered home, wait at least 30 seconds, maybe make it a full minute if it's really cold, like below freezing.
And use that time productively.
Yeah. Buckle your seatbelt, plug in your phone, choose your music, set the nav, check your mirrors, whatever you need to do. It's not wasted time, it's vital oil circulation time.
Got it. Step 3.
Step 3, drive away smoothly and gently. Keep the engine speed low, ideally below, say, 2,500 RPM for the first few minutes.
The imaginary egg under the pedal.
Exactly. Avoid hard acceleration. Remember, you're not just warming up the engine oil here. You're also warming up the transmission fluid, the differential fluid, even the grease in your wheel bearings. Everything needs to come up to temp gradually.
Good point. Okay, step 4.
Step 4, keep an eye on your temperature gauge. Do not, and I mean do not go for full throttle or really high RPMs until that needle is sitting right in the middle, right where it normally lives, once the car is fully warmed up.
Wait till it's properly hot.
Once it's there, you're good to go. The engine's reached its happy place, the metals have expanded to their correct tolerances, the oil is thin and flowing perfectly. Now you can drive normally.
That sounds like a clear, simple plan anyone can follow. Now, before we wrap up, I just want to add one special point. For anyone listening who drives a car with a turbocharger.
Ah, yes. Very important distinction.
For you folks, all these rules we just talked about, they're like twice as important, right?
You are absolutely right to single out turbos. A turbocharger is an incredibly precise, high-strung piece of kit.
They spin incredibly fast, don't they?
Insane speeds, sometimes well over 150,000 RPM. And that little shaft relies entirely on a constant, high-pressure supply of clean engine oil. That's what lubricates and cools its bearings.
Okay.
Now, when that oil is cold and thick, like we discussed,
Yeah.
it can momentarily starve those tiny turbo bearings of proper lubrication right after startup.
Nice.
It might only be for a fraction of a second, but it causes microscopic wear.
And that adds up over time.
It absolutely adds up, leading to premature turbo failure. So that 30 to 60 second wait time we talked about, it is not optional in a turbocharged car. It's basically a lifeline. It ensures oil has actually reached that blisteringly fast-spinning shaft before it has to do any real work.
And the gentle driving part?
Even more critical, you need to be extra gentle with the throttle until the engine oil is fully up to temperature. Putting a turbo under boost, like accelerating hard when the engine and oil are still cold, is genuinely one of the fastest ways to kill it.
Another potential 4-figure repair bill avoided with a little patience.
Precisely. These simple acts of patience really can be the difference between a turbo that lasts the life of the car and one that gives up the ghost way too early.
Okay, so it really all boils down to this, doesn't it? Just be kind to your engine when it's cold and vulnerable.
Exactly. Show it a little mechanical empathy.
And the reward. Many more years and potentially tens of thousands of extra miles of faithful service.
That's the idea. And, this whole deep dive, it isn't just about saving your engine, is it? It's about cultivating that awareness. It kind of makes you wonder, what other everyday habits, maybe things completely outside of our cars, might we be unknowingly damaging or making less efficient just through a lack of mindful attention?
That's a really interesting thought to leave people with. What else are we doing on autopilot that could use a little more empathy, maybe?
Something to chew on, definitely.
Indeed. Well, I really hope this deep dive helps you save your engine from an early grave. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today.
Pleasure, as always.
And remember, if you found this valuable, please do hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already. Check out the comments. Let us know your thoughts.
We love hearing from you.
We absolutely do. See you in the next one.